we're streaming. Oh yeah, we're live. Okay. We got excellent connection too.
All right, let's get it walking.
So we should invite the friends if anyone's online right now.
All right, all right.
Got a little JB in the background. While I get my browser up. Damn. I do like this song. Yeah. Alrighty. Well, let's just get into it, brother. Sorry to keep you waiting. All this administrative work here. What is today's date? What time is it?
Oh, the 24th. The 24th of July.
So where are we in the season? I don't know. You tell me.
Shit, man. To catch you up, everybody reporting to training camp this week. I think Texans going in a couple days. The Browns were there this weekend. I think the Jets and Ravens started. Yeah.
Is your audio coming from your mic or the computers? Are we having another issue with that?
No, can you hear me?
Yeah, tap on the mic of your headset.
Yeah.
Nah, it sounds like it's coming from the computer.
Oh, not this bullshit again.
Damn. Yeah, I mean it's not the worst, honestly. We can keep going.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's worth doing the whole thing.
Yeah.
Like if you take your headset off and it's the same quality, then we know.
Yeah, you already know it's the same.
Yeah, it's the same. So it's definitely come from your computer, but it's not bad. It's not bad.
Fuck it. All right.
Yeah.
Damn. Anyways, yeah, man. That's where we at right now.
Okay, we're still going back to training camp, and teams. Does anyone ever actually go out of the facility anymore? Feel like a lot of teams stay at home these days, or they have a mega facility like the Patriots or the Cowboys where they stay home. Texans always stay home usually. There's only one time they ever moved out or went out, and that was with Bill O'Brien.
Yeah, old South Carolina and shit.
Yeah. I think the Steelers always go out. The Steelers always do training camp somewhere else. But anyway.
Usually, Cowboys, right? They're out in California.
But that's true. I just said Cowboys have a great facility, but they do go to California every time.
But actually, no, because you know about that Frisco stadium, so I'm sure they might stay now. I mean, I'm not really particular, but yeah, the teams still do travel, especially the Texans are hosting Miami, right, for a couple joint practices. So even though it's not what you're saying, where they're moving offsite for the whole camp, there are teams that are going to be traveling, right? Miami to Texas, Miami to Houston's a pretty big travel for joint practices, but that's probably the relationship between D'Amico and old Mike McDaniels over there, coming from the Shanahan tree, linking up and shit. So.
Okay. Is there any noteworthy things training camp around the NFL?
Man, we hit on some stuff around the NFL. It was one that caught my eye was Deshaun Watson speaking to the Cleveland media, and he got burned, man, for essentially saying his reputation has taken a hit because of a narrative spun by the media. You know what I'm saying? And then he goes even further and speaks on his upbringing, and he's like, my teammates, they accepted me once I opened up about my childhood and my upbringing. I didn't think I was going to make it to the NFL, let alone high school. I only saw my father 4 times. Mother was single, sick.
Why is he telling us this?
Yeah, exactly. It's it's kind of a weird position, don't you think? Like that he's taken his stance as far as like, no, your reputation's what it is because of like the multiple like sexual assault allegations against you, brother. Like I don't know what narratives was spun by the media. But it's interesting route that he and his team, his PR team's taken. That is Deshaun Watson.
Like he's the victim.
Yeah, exactly. Right. That's what it sounds like, man. And like I said, I don't know. It's like he's almost asking us to focus on stuff he couldn't control, right? Like an upbringing, a bad upbringing. You know what I mean? Instead of us focusing on what he could control, his behavior around pussy, how he acts in a closed doors, in a session of massage. You know what I mean? So, it's very weird,
It's
man.
like, yeah, I might have done those things, but you have to understand where I'm coming from and how I was raised.
And that was kind of like one of the quotes that got picked up on that media session he had on Sunday. It was like, that my teammates accepted me for what I've become or who I am now because of the upbringing I had. It's like, all right, I mean,
interesting.
Directly explaining, why you go in there with small hand towels to cover your, Anyway, but what else, man? Naheem Hines, does that name ring a bell?
None.
Fantasy players, it will.
Not
Hines
at all.
Used to be a pass catcher for the Colts, right? He was their RB 2 or 3 for a couple years. On the Bills now. Jet ski accident, bro. Running back. He was probably gonna have split duties with Dalvin Cook's little brother out in Buffalo. I know he was going to be definitely some sort of safety valve behind Knox as far as the safety valve for Josh Allen being that RB with the receiving skills. Anyways, jet ski accident. Now they're talking about how obviously the Bills can recoup some sort of money.
What happened? Like, what do you mean jet ski? What happened in the jet ski accident?
I didn't look too much into it, but
he's alive, right?
Stopped. He had stopped. Yeah, he's okay. Knee injury, pretty much. Oh. He stopped and he was either posing or conversing with people, and basically got hit by another jet ski.
What? Like, so he wasn't even driving the jet ski. He got hit by a jet ski, like a road jet ski.
He was stationed. No, he was stationary. Yeah, he was on his own jet ski, but he got hit by another one while he was stationary. Yeah. Like I said, I think I read real fast, but the gist that I got out of it was, this money, or what interested me was like.
What do you think of jet skis? What's your take on jet skis? Do you like them?
Man, I like jet skis, but I've only been on it maybe once, maybe twice. For the cost though, I don't know. I feel like people got 2 jet skis in the trailer. Like, damn, why not just get the boat? You know what I'm saying? But
still way cheaper than
boys, big toys.
Boat, I think.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. More value that way, or more.
But
fun.
Jet skis are like, they're fun to ride, but every time someone's on them near you, they're always assholes, and you always hate them. Like when we're driving the boat, and people like they're either jumping your wake or in front of you, or they're trying to, cut you off, or they're trying to beat boats everywhere. Yeah, most people on jet skis are real big assholes. Probably because like you can just rent them, and they're just like people don't really know like consideration on the water.
Yeah, they don't really know the driver's ed, how to.
But it's funny
how to
be
with other people. Yeah.
When I'm on jet ski, I'm having a blast. But yeah, it's just funny.
Yeah. So
well, damn, that's
with
so
this
weird.
Injury, man, like I wanted to just point out like the language in contracts. I wonder what they're saying because it's got to be something like. I believe Ed Oliver, the defensive tackle from U of H, he just re-signed with the Bills, and a lot of his language was like he's not allowed to play non-football type stuff, or his pay is going to be voided if he gets injured doing non-football activities.
I think that's more common now. I've heard that in more athletes' contracts. It's not like just the superstars.
So we shouldn't feel sorry, huh? We shouldn't feel sorry for these boys then, right? I mean, they get hurt. They knew they shouldn't have been doing what they were doing. I mean, would you have gotten on the jet ski knowing some motherfucker gonna hit me today?
I mean, it's
victim
kind of
blaming here or what?
Yeah, I don't know. It's like they got to be able to live life too. You can't live in a glass, bubble or whatever the hell the phrase might be.
But shit, I mean, right now you're on a jet ski a week before training camp.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's timing. It's kind of like
February, nigga.
It's like these guys probably. There's a lot of guys who smoke weed, but it's like timing. Do it like when you're not going in training camp and you're having drug tests. People. A lot of former players will say you can smoke weed. It's just like because we know when they're drug testing you, and so for players to get caught with that, it's kind of stupid. Same kind of thing here. It's like you're not stupid for wanting to have fun on a jet ski, but maybe like right before training camp, where anything could happen. That's probably when you want to lay low, rest up. Mm-hmm. Yeah. How old is this guy? He obviously younger cat, right?
Yeah. I mean, shit, 27-ish or something, but
yeah.
I mean, outside of that, man, you got Zeke still looking for a team. You got
that's kind of wild,
taking
no?
his time. Yeah. And with this injury, the rumors start swirling now. There's obviously a gap here on the Bills. So I mean, would Dalvin Cook join? His brother's already James Cook. His brother's already on the squad, right? Zeke, they're just
Where
waiting to see. But
Yeah, so Dalvin Cook and Zeke are both still out there.
yeah, yeah,
Was there
yeah,
any
man.
truth to Miami wanting Dalvin Cook? Was that a real thing? Like
Yeah, yeah. I
he got an
think
offer
the
that
real
was too
link
low?
was I think the link was just real easy to roll off the tongue, bro, because he went to college, Florida State. Miami is his hometown. Um, but I want to say I know for sure he didn't sign what Miami had offered him, and a lot of it right now, Dalvin is telling people he's just taking his time. But outside of that, man, the other teams that started camp, I think Ravens and the Jets, they got some key fantasy guys, right, that are not starting the season. They're on the pup right now, but obviously they're going to be counted on heavily once the season starts. J.K. Dobbins seems like every preseason or every summer he's out there. But who else was I say? Oh, the Jets, Brees Hall. We know about Brees Hall, running back. Tore his knee up last year. Looks to be coming back. Gonna come back strong. So that's really all I got, man. Around the NFL. I mean, it's not much going on. I know we got Denzel Washington's name up. The Commanders did get sold finally from the despicable Dan Snyder to I think a gentleman that owns the Philadelphia Sixers, 76ers too. So we'll see how that's gonna go. We're about to watch a franchise try to remake its culture. Um, start from the inside out, gut the cancers, and kind of like what we're going through in Houston, right? So this is going to
Uh,
be interesting to see.
Indeed, yeah. I kind of fell off on who eventually acquired the team or purchased the team. Do we know how
Yeah,
much
yeah, I
it
can't
was?
recall his name, but it is a guy that has got experience in owning the other sports team. I mean, like I said, it's interesting to see what he's going to do. Like,
Like sole ownership, or is it like a partner deal or anything?
it's probably some. Yeah, I want to say a group, I think, but he is the head, or he reps them all, so, or he represents the rest of them. But yeah,
In the
kind of like just
billions, I'd
like
imagine.
I love the parallels, man, between NFL and corporate world, and kind of like that. Like we're just gonna see how he's gonna do it, I guess. Turn it around or get the message and vision and spread it amongst them all. So,
So
but
we remember this past season, right before we drafted, we made a change to our rules in the fantasy league, and we basically I think we allotted another spot for a wide receiver. Was that the
yeah,
rule? So we made
yeah, yeah,
so because the thought was we have a 12-man league. Running backs are there's a huge cliff after like the first top 4 or 5, and then it's
yeah,
all like pretty different. And so then with how many slot places you have, wide receivers become more valuable, and there's more wide receivers talent out there, so it made more sense. Anyway, so you have this next topic here: value wide receiver 2 3s, because kind of like going deep. Is that the idea here versus like
yeah, man.
the
I
number
say,
one?
I mean, I think we touch on it every time this year, and it's more just reminding the people, right? Like, what do I mean by like the value wide receiver 2 and 3? Okay, so I mean these guys that got wide receiver one upside, right? It could mean the guys that were taken late that people are sleeping on. Maybe they're coming back from an injury riddled 2022 or a low, they didn't exceed expectations 2022, so people are jumping off the ship and therefore they're dropping in draft boards. The one thing I really like, um, I guess to focus on here is I mean, just pick the good offense, right? Or pick an offense that's going to have plenty of opportunities. It might not be like the Lions 2 years ago. We always like to say the Lions, like they're actually a decent offense, but that's because they got a lot of opportunities, and that may be because they're playing behind a lot. So that's kind of what this part is about. Some guys though, I forget who, um, but like Christian Watson on the Green Bay. Even though Aaron Rodgers is gone, I still think they're gonna slang the rock. Um, any receiver on either the Jets or the Steelers. Um, but value, man, it's more. I'm thinking like guys that we can pick around 60 or 70 around that draft position. Drake London, maybe Christian Kirk. You know what I mean? Some of these guys that might be sneaky that'll give you wide receiver one numbers.
What about a team like the Texans where it's a rookie quarterback where he's supposed to be a good player, but you don't know, and rookie seasons can
I
be hit or
Shoot, I say
miss.
Texans a little more riskier than some of these other squads. You notice I mentioned guys or teams like the Pittsburgh Steelers or the Giants, whether they're a stable franchise or they got a stability at a position, which would be the Jets QB Aaron Rodgers. Steelers, I just meant the stable franchise in general. They're never up high or low. They're always even kill and right up there. As far as Texans, we know how volatile how volatile that environment's been the last couple years, right? And even though we're climbing out, right, digging ourselves out of the hole now, we still ain't there yet, right? And that includes that offense. I think the O line's gonna be great, and I think C.J. Stroud's gonna be a god. But shit, I'm a big believer in you got to fuck up before you can learn, right? So we're gonna have to see them fuck ups first. And those receivers, I don't know. To be specific with this, Robert Woods, is he a value pick? Nobody's gonna be picking Robert Woods, a guy that's coming, but I think he'll be all right. Why? He's another year removed from that knee injury. Um, he's the only established guy in that locker room. You know what I mean? He will be the safety valve. Him and of course that tight end Dalton Schultz. But to
So
answer your question, Texans. I'd lean away from Texans. There are other receiver groups we can fuck with.
yeah, well, I mean, like it's not something you gravitate towards, but if like you're really against not a lot of options, that's one way to spin like
One of the steals.
I mean, it's either gonna be a hit or miss, right? It's immediately like, oh, this
either way, yeah. Tank Dell is the one you would want,
Yeah,
Tank
that's what I was
Dell's
gonna say, like, because he's a rookie on a team who has like a lot of promise, a lot of talent, but then he's also on a team with like a brand new quarterback in itself, who's also a rookie. So the odds are that they're not going to be that great, but you could always.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of one of the things about the fantasy teams. It feels like you have to draft well, and then you have to have one of those sleeper rookie picks that like has a really strong season. Like, you got a rookie running back where the jury's out. You don't really have any data, and you happen to hit on it. Most times, I'm pretty sure when I was looking at all the stats and things, and I still need to finish it. We'll come back to it. But I was using ChatGPT and all the data stuff, and I was having a lot of fun with it. And it was actually pretty cool, crunching numbers and revisiting our over like 10, 13 years of doing this fantasy football league. And that was one thing I noticed that was very evident. It's like you would have not even running backs. Like you would have a strong team, but then you would have one rookie in there that.
It was because one of your sleepers hit. Yeah.
And I wouldn't even say a sleeper, but more times than not, it was like a rookie that did really well. Like that was like maybe not like a god, but like was a solid,
a piece of
12 to 15, yeah.
Yes, sir.
A core piece.
And that rolls into our next topic right there on the sidebar. Rookies in November. I'm gonna double down on what you said. Yeah, you absolutely need a rookie to emerge and to kind of I would say be your flex, right? That's why I named this one Rookies in November. Like, who are the guys? Yeah, I mean, you might be thinking about drafting when you have your fantasy draft, and you're thinking, what happens in November? You've already played 2 months of football. People, breaking down? Injuries gonna happen. Offenses have to change, evolve. Records go either up or down, and coaches have to make adjustments. We don't need to get specific and say the Broncos are gonna, be down by week 4, or, what I'm trying to say is like who has the easiest path to opportunities or volume.
To that point, like in November, you're either on the cusp of the playoffs or you're pretty much down and out. So on both of those things, you're kind of
pivotal time.
So it's kind of cool because you get the same result. I feel like you're either going to get a team that is pushed in the playoffs, and they're going to use their veterans. But if they have rookies that are doing really well, they're going to try to rest their veterans as much as they can.
Mm-hmm.
So the rookies will get more in. But especially if they're down and out of the playoffs, they're playing the rookies all the time because like they got to see what they have for next year. They want to develop the guys. So rookies.
And see, that's what I mean. Like it doesn't matter what the path was to get there. We know what the end result's going to be. These opportunities are going to come. You know what I mean? Whether it's like you say, is it because the team's doing well, or is the team being like shit and they trying to figure out who they can keep and who they got to cut? Like running backs are the easiest positions to spit out when you talk about rookies in November that you want to, and like I say, not necessarily target in November, but you already want to stash these boys. That way you're not fighting or you're not putting too much in the auction to get these boys. Because by then it's too late once everybody knows when they read the report Tuesday. So who do I mean? I look at like people drafted rounds 2 to 4 in the real NFL draft that are behind, positions. Running back, like I said, was easy because A lot more committees now.
Like Bijan
Injuries
Robinson.
gonna happen. Yeah, yeah. So
He's
not it
picked,
wouldn't be
yeah,
Bijan, but it might
he's
be
round one.
his backup. Yeah, yeah. Because I see them using Bijan like Debo Samuel out backfield receiver everything. So they're gonna have to give him some gas breaks sometimes. Another guy I like who Seattle picked in the second round, a Zach kid out of UCLA. I don't know how to say his last name, Charbonnet or Charmander or some shit. This boy
Charmander.
though, he's
Up.
like AJ Dillon Jr. is what I think Pro Football called him. Like thick, stout, but a guy that he's gonna break a couple at least. He's not going down from the first two tackles, and he's always gonna get an extra yard or two when he's moving the pile. Right now, Kenneth Walker's there in Seattle, but we saw how Kenneth Walker was last year. He started the season slow, coming back from injury, and then the injury kind of caught up with him at the end of the season. So if that trends again in his second year, you got this kid out of UCLA, Zach, might come in, November. I don't know. I'm
Looks
talking
like
shit.
Charbonnet.
You mentioned Bijan, right? Bijan actually had UT had another running back not named Bijan, but because Bijan was such a god, nobody knew this guy. The Bears picked him, I think, fourth round. RJ Rashawn or some shit. This guy.
No, I think I saw him play. I went with Tank and a couple of the guys, and I think
Oh, okay.
we saw Bijan play, but he wasn't playing a lot. Like they were kind of resting him. I forget with like
So
where
this
we
guy
were.
played, yeah.
So I remember Cervenka saying the same thing. He's like, "Oh, this guy he's pretty strong running back in himself." But like,
Yeah, man. They say, yeah. I bet he had to look like a grown man because I know he's like,
oh yeah,
6'1" or something, 220.
Yeah.
It
looked like an NFL running back out there, yeah, for sure. Like
but again, because Bijan was such a god, like no one knew about this guy, and the fact that he lands with the Bears is what gets your dick really hard because you got Deontay Foreman, another former UT running back, who did well last year for the Carolina Panthers. But there's a reason he's on his fourth or fifth team, right? 3-4 years, So either the lack of something there in character that teams aren't willing to hold on to, and then Khalil Herbert. So that's the competition for our boy Roschon Johnson here, who's a rookie. So yeah, the temper your expectations already. But like I said, if you're rolling the dice, if we throwing shit on the wall, see what sticks. I'm going with this cat who had to sit behind a legend, a god in Bijan. You know what I mean? And man, I hope I hope he gets it. And then last guy was Tyjae Spears. Why target him in November, Troy? You know why? He's a rookie running back from the Titans. That's all I really know. I know Derrick Henry's got to break down eventually, and just kind of like the Tom Brady every year. Oh, he's gonna be done. Oh, he's gonna be done. I'm trying to start doing that with the Derrick Henry. Like, a man can't be that big, that fast, that strong, that consistent.
Another stat I was looking into: how long does a running back stay at their peak within fantasy?
I love that one. Yeah, that's the kind of shit we need to throw out next time.
So I mean, I've just I'll definitely spend some time this weekend digging that back up and finishing it because I was getting really deep into it, but it wasn't that long. Like visually, I had made some charts to kind of plot it out, and it seemed like the glory window is like 3 at max 4, like 4 on a good one, but it's more like 2 and 3, like running backs who have consistent strong. And so it might be like 2 or 3 strong ones, and then they kind of start fluttering down. And it's not like it goes just a bad season, strong again. It's like consistently starts to dip down. So
I see.
It's just like, but it's gradual. So it's like 2 strong ones, and then it just starts gradually going down again. So it's pretty wild. And then some running backs are kind of.
Yeah.
Then there's some running backs that are outliers. Like an Adrian Peterson was like just consistently strong for a long time, until whatever. He hasn't formally retired yet.
I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah, the running backs. I mean, we'll touch on receivers maybe next time. Kehu gave a lot of topics, so that's where a lot of these came from. Like,
yeah,
I think hopefully we get his ass on next time.
Yeah, he has a lot of topics I want to cover next time when we can have our stuff together a little bit more. But one thing we need to do is we still need to break down that play from the draft. I think it was like almost 2 drafts now.
Yeah.
So I got a little Apple Pencil so I can like mark up the play while I'll figure out how to cast it so we can like break it down because I really think there's a lot of story in this play.
Hey, bro, I already told you I got extra batteries, so we're about to film the whole game, next one.
Yeah.
Just gonna play that in like 4 times speed or something.
We'll see.
Yeah.
So we want to move on to personal fits profiling. What is this?
Yeah, man, this is one of the podcasts I like. I listen to is from Michael Lombardi. I think we talked about him before. Ex GM, worked like under Bill Belichick, Bill Walsh.
Oh, hey, Will.
And yeah, he just kind of spitballs episode. And in the off season, they had 3 or 4 episodes called a leadership series. So they spent about 15, 20 minutes interviewing like an author or a motivator or a leader speaker. And yeah, man, this one was tight. I think you and I were talking about it last time, like managing people or whatever, or had leading the team and stuff. Um, that's what I wanted to ask you. What's a good leader you remember in your life? It can be from work now or from growing up. You
A
got
good leader.
your dad or was a coach or you know what I mean?
There's different types of leaders for sure.
Yeah. Which one do you like pops up in your head first?
My father is a good leader in terms of work ethic. Like he's always
Yeah.
busted his
So
ass.
he
Like
led by example. Yeah.
yeah.
All right.
Um, got to throw Coach Eaton in there. He was a good like leader of words and emotion kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like to rah rah. He was a coach, of course.
So he was inspire.
Yeah,
Yeah.
more like an inspiring kind of guy. Always talking about the things beyond football we're learning and developing his character and his men. And
Coach was fucking
that
he was a
stuff
beast,
gets me.
dude.
Yeah, that gets me
He was
going.
like a priest, pretty much, dude. Just drawing parallels from football to
And
life.
He
It was
would
wild, man.
he would dust a little Jesus on us a little bit in there, but Coach Radfield led by voice crack. Will's in the chat. What's up, Will?
Oh shit, man.
Um,
Yeah. Anyways, they interviewed a guy, and he fucking built a company based on profiling people, kind of like the shit we talked about last time in interview processes. They might like do a personality test or something like that on you. One that I did a lot in construction was DISC. I bet Amber did it too, where they just put you in one of those categories and shit. And
yeah, Amber
this
did
guy,
like
he'd been doing it for
an assessment test or something, personal assessment.
yeah. And damn, what was I gonna say? Anyways, yeah, this guy, he's been doing it for corporations, businesses, whatever firms and shit for about 30 years, but only in the NFL and sporting college athletic world for about 10. So it's kind of brand new in that realm. And yeah, it was just interesting how he had mentioned a story on Dak, bro. How the Cowboys, one of the higher up personnel, director of people personnel, reached out to this gentleman that owns that profiling company. His name is damn, I forgot his name. Anyways, Brown, Mr. Brown, I think. And this motherfucker essentially talked him into like getting Dak. Like said, if you want a guy, he basically profiled Dak, and he's got a good record of profiling other QBs that have been taken between the last 10 years. He correctly profiled Baker and Jameis as like, and what I mean correctly profiled, I guess like before the draft, he evaluated to those teams. Like, all right, Jameis, Baker, they're less X's and O's and more freestyle play. Almost like basic things we could say. But they paid this man to do it, and Dak said he'd be a learner. He'd I don't know, man. Pretty good though, man. But I was gonna ask, what about you, dude? Because you lead a team. What do you think? Are you a do you have to fucking like whip the chain? It sounds like right now you're the doctor, the psychiatrist. You just got to listen to everyone bitch and like
make a little bit like some like it's kind of like I'd imagine I'm new into having a second child, but it's kind of like your children. Each one has a different personality, and you have to address the group as a core, like with a core message, and I think and like direction, like this is what we're gonna try to do as a team. But then each individual has a different personality and responds to different things and can take information different ways. So learning their personalities, I kind of like fine tune it there. So I kind of tailor things. Like some guys need coaching. Some guys need more 100%,
like bro.
This is like your gap, like of what's wrong. Some guys are more like business as usual, and they're just like, how do I get to the next level, kind of thing. So yeah, it's different.
Isn't that crazy? So it's up to you though, right? Like you got to hold yourself accountable to be able to adjust to each of these. Tailor, like you say, that was perfect. Tailor to each of these motherfuckers.
Yeah.
But a common vision, right? But you got to say it differently to each of these motherfuckers, translated differently. Yeah, man.
Yeah, and I think
so that's leadership in a nutshell. Huh? I like
and I think when you can kind of like speak to people like individually or speak to like individual characteristics of them, they feel more like you're invested with them versus just like regurgitating like a script as a manager and stuff like that. So,
Mm-hmm.
but
Yeah,
I try to appeal to their emotional side and then kind of push
always,
them.
man.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
we say we've been there, right? Do you say that? Like I try to say that a lot. Like, yeah, I've been there, man. Or,
yeah. Most of the time, I mean that's the thing about
yeah,
being a manager. Most of the time, I have been in I've been in the position where I was
yeah,
trying
yeah.
to the new guy trying to up and coming. I've been the senior role and I've been like the kind of imposter role. So yeah, it's cool. It's been a lot of fun actually.
Man, when I came out of the college, I had like 40 Hispanic guys, and I couldn't say like, yeah, I've been there because like I'm not out there sweating my balls off and shit. They know I'm getting like, you know, good pay and the air condition, all that shit. That shit was wild, man. And they're like just like teenage girls, man. Talk about like their pay and talk about their, oh, I got a raise. Oh, I make more than you. My dick's bigger. Shit like that. Like, man,
What's
fuck.
what's a green personality? Sorry, Will says I'm a green personality. Personality apparently.
Man, there's a book out there called Surrounded by Idiots, and they profile people into four colors: yellow, red, blue, and green.
Oh,
And green is the I would explain it in terms of like the disc, the DISC. So I think it would be the C, the compliant, the calculated, the gotta be correct. Almost introvert in a way. If that's what Will's saying, then I'd agree. Because not introvert because they're shy, which could be the case, but more because they're always thinking. They're always maybe overthinking, wondering.
no,
You know what I mean? They
definitely
don't want,
Will.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So,
Probably a
but
little bit of me too.
I think that's how I would describe Green. I don't know. Let's see what he would say. But yeah, yeah.
What is
Yeah,
green,
Chad
Will?
Brown is the dude's name
Okay.
that I was talking about that has that profiling company. But yeah, it's yeah, it was pretty interesting, man. Maybe we'll audiobook that whole one day. But
Man, speaking of audiobooks, I have an Audible account and I've signed up for it. I'm getting charged like $15 like every couple months for credits,
are you
and I'm
using it? So
yeah.
it's
Well,
unlimited or what?
no, no. It's like I have these credits, but it's like if I just cancel, I use the credits I haven't used. But like, so I can still access the books that I've used the credits on. But they're like, hey, if you cancel, you can't use all these credits that you just have purchased over months. So I have to like, I've been buying a crap ton of audiobooks. So if you have suggestions, I
Oh,
need to
all
buy
right.
some
I'm gonna send you
books.
some.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
yeah. No, because these have been nice, man. Yeah, it's mostly about like work related. It's gonna relate
I should probably
to
buy
everything
some
you're doing.
management books and stuff and be a better manager in person. Do
Nah,
stuff like
man.
that.
Like I said, why? When you can just listen to the. I'm getting all this shit from the podcast I listen to. That dude, he's bringing on authors, and I'm like, cool, that's cool. I'm gonna Google your book now and spark
Okay,
note that hoe.
Will sent us the breakdown of the green personality.
Oh yeah, yeah. What is it?
Those with green color personality strengths tend to be perfectionist. Is that
There we
Marine
go.
that? Yeah.
I say calculated.
Yeah.
Correct.
Perfectionist,
Yes.
analytical, conceptual, cool. Will is pretty fucking cool. Inventive and logical. They seek
Yep. Yep.
knowledge and understanding. Yeah, Will does seek to understand the universe.
So I wonder if that means I'm red. I think red is like hot head and fucking gotta like. I know on the disc thing, I had a high I, so my
A high I.
CEO told me that means I was a bullshitter pretty much. I was
Oh.
like more like instinctual, influential.
Okay. Yeah.
Um, this guy he kind of broke down the Chicago Bulls championship team into the DISC, right? So the D was like dominant, right? D was like dominant, demanding, a pusher to get shit done, like Janice and Monty. Just shit talk, and then
Yeah.
just squeeze out whatever you could, make everything out of the barely that they're
I would
giving
love for those two
Fuck.
to have a chat. That'd be funny.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah.
so Reds are strong leaders, fast-paced thinkers, risk takers, purposeful drivers, strong-willed, high energy, competitive, and rational.
It's I
Rational.
wouldn't say I'm all that, but you got to be. I'd say a leader is that. That's yeah.
How many
That's,
colors are there? Are there only four? Will, where we get this
yeah, yeah.
information?
Yellow and blue for sure. Yellow and
Oh,
blue's
yeah,
life.
help us out, Will. Give me the other colors. Let's figure this out. Let's get to the bottom of this. It's a good way to segue into what's
Yeah,
happening
man.
because this is
Hey,
I gotta
yep,
plug that
yep.
in.
I say this, yep. Leaders bridge gaps, man. They bridge gaps, like you were saying, between people. You know, people complicate shit. So just trying to get everyone common. I like it. I like it, man. Yeah, what's happening, dog?
Well,
Shit.
let's finish out these personality traits because I'm just curious
Oh
myself.
yeah, it's nice.
So now we have blue. Those with blue color personality
Let me
strengths.
guess. Let me guess. Blue is
Okay.
it's either yellow or blue's the bitches. I don't know. Is blue emotional? I don't know. Go ahead. What's up?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I think you're right. Blue color personality strengths tend to be enthusiastic, sympathetic, communicative, compassionate, idealistic, sincere, and imaginative. So it's
Okay.
kind of a little bit like you might be compassionate, but you also might be a wishful thinker. It seems
Uh-huh.
like. Um,
You need all these people too to succeed. That's a
Hellos.
fact.
Hellos. It's yellows. Yellows are the life and
Yellow.
soul of the party. That's definitely you. They are sociable, expressive, very imaginative, and enthusiastic with it. Yellows are informative. Yellows are very informal, very optimistic, and animated. You're definitely yellow.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Asian. That banana. That banana fever. Yeah. With them bitches with that banana fever.
I didn't even realize that. That's funny. Oh, how racist. That's so funny.
Shit, man.
What you got? What's
You
happening?
know, we always hell yeah, man. Appreciate it, Will. That's fucking nice, man.
Yeah, that's fun.
Oh man. We're gonna have to incorporate that into our NFL draft. That's what we need everyone to figure out. How are we gonna determine the draft picks this year? I know the wrestling got old, even though I loved it. Now it's time to.
Randy had submitted a like an obstacle course. That's a fun one. That's easy to go to. Excuse me, my voice is
I
all
ain't trying to
raspy.
tear my shit, man. Fuck, are we old, man? Can't be doing that, man.
Yeah, or we could do like a fun video game. Randy has a race rig. We could bring that. We could set that up like a day before. Um,
I want to freestyle in the race rig. That's what I want to do. Put a mic in there. Yeah.
or we could do like you know, shots. You know, chipping golf balls, kind of trick shots. I don't know.
Hell yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like the obstacle course thing that Randy sent. It's kind of like you flip cup and you run a little bit here. You're not. Although you probably could get hurt. Yeah, you could tear something.
Nah. I'm fucking around. I'm definitely down. Shit.
Will, do you have any ideas? Any ideas for the draft order? I'm trying to think of one where I don't think I've ever had a really good solid idea other than some kind of stupid little obstacle.
Shit. Speaking of fantasy ideas, I'm gonna roll out like 3 or 4 things we need to figure out. Like, what do you think about this one? People that didn't make the playoffs, they get to choose a keeper an earlier round. Maybe not this year, but next year.
Mm.
Because we're taking away a playoff spot this year. We're going from 8 to 7.
Oh, okay.
So,
Why is that?
make it more dramatic. I think people want to go down to 6, man, but I don't want to do. I want
Where was I? I haven't
nice.
heard this conversation. What's going on?
Oh no, it's just throughout the season from last year. I'd rather have 8. More people the merrier in the tournament for the big money, Shit. But that's why we developed the loser playoff bracket. Make a decent amount of money there too. Shit.
Yeah, I mean rule changes like
But that's what I'm talking about to vote on. I mean, I want to throw those out, let people simmer and have it for like 3 weeks, 4 weeks, and then come to the conclusion.
Okay, yeah,
we can get
a formal thing going like this year's proposals at the
we'll
owners
vote
club meeting
when we all get together. Owners meeting, annual owners meeting.
So we should type up a little packet and talk about at length the
also belts, man,
changes.
Or rings.
You want belts?
Bernal wanted them rings, man. I want to get them rings on.
Rings would be cool because actually Bernal should have had this trophy this last year. I've kept it for 2 seasons in a row now. My bad, dude. I need to get the plates because I put the plates on that you got, but the one plate that was for me was the wrong year, so I need to reorder that plate, and then I need to get Bernal's
Damn,
plate.
I fucked up too many times.
Yeah, it's all right.
Hey, we always go to movies, man. So I can't believe.
Okay.
I wonder if Will heard "A Sound of Freedom" because I know Beans. You say you've been working hard.
I've been working hard, man. Raising kids,
grinding, boy.
Churning
The
butter.
house looks good too, man. Shit, upkeeping 2 houses, 2 children.
We had our first random Airbnb. Yeah, I told you our first random in there.
Good review. Yep, 5-star.
Oh
5-star
yeah.
General.
I showed you. Okay, cool.
Yeah, man.
I've heard of it, but not really running. Oh wait, I've heard of it, but not really running to the theaters to see it. Okay, he's not running to the theaters to see it. Sorry, I can't read right
Yeah.
now. I am
So
an
we
idiot.
saw it 2 nights ago. Yeah, it's a movie on human trafficking, and they shine light on the inner workings of it. They tug at you really good. They never show anything nasty, inappropriate, but they will show the kids getting trafficked. They will show actors as pedophiles about to get down with the kids, and then dramatic music with everything. It's pretty powerful movie message and stuff. But yeah, man, the based on true events tag is used in that heavily, and that's a shame because none of that shit is real. But it's a pretty good movie. It's a real fast paced and shit too. Combined like elements of everything I like.
So they're just
With a
showing you like a
detective.
really, like a live
It's almost like
depiction
an
of it.
ops. They're showing it. Yeah, yeah. Of this guy, Tim Ballard or whatever, some operative that apparently went into Colombia, saved this boy, went in, saved his sister, went in, freed 5,000 people up to this date in real life, and it was like a depiction of some of these missions that he's gone through. Badass movie, action movie, bro. But yeah, man, it's just not real, man. So a lot of people think.
So Will said he saw a movie for his Spanish class. It's like, are you taking Spanish at Texas State College Spanish?
Oh yeah, you getting that elective out the way, boy.
Or I
What's
saw a
it about?
movie
What's
in
the
my
movie
Spanish
about?
class called Seven Años.
Seven
Uh,
Años.
Really interesting movie from Spain about a group of 4 colleagues that committed fraud.
Oh.
And one of them has to serve 7 years for prison for it. And they have to decide which one of them has to serve the time. So
Damn.
it's like if me, you, Will, and
That's
Kyle, we all got
badass.
busted. We have to
So a
serve time.
psychological thriller, huh?
Who's
Yeah.
going to serve the time? Kind of reminds me of
That's fucking tight.
what's that movie
Seven Años?
with
Yeah. Which one?
with
That's my
Mar-
strong hand.
Martin Lawrence. It's like a
Oh.
Blue Streak or something. When he gets the diamond, he serves time, and then he comes out to get the diamond, and it's at a police station, and he has to go in there and get the diamond. And it was kind of like there's a scene where they're all like he's with his buddies, and they're all like, "Oh, someone's gonna go down," but I think they end up trying to kill each other. So kind of way different.
Blue
But
Streak, man, that's a throwback. Yeah, I
how
don't
how would we
remember
do
it,
that? How would we decide who's going to jail?
man, you almost have to do like a little horny ass junior high student. Just spin the bottle, man. Wherever it land, like kiss you goodbye, bro. Shit, shit, yeah.
No, we'd have to be more. We have to think through it. Someone maybe get. I don't know. If they committed fraud, why didn't the other people have to go to jail for it? That's what I don't get. That's the deal. Either way. Yeah, man.
Yeah,
I don't have too much movie stuff.
nah, shit.
I've been
What
trying
else?
to Marvel. I've been trying to check out the Secret Invasion thing. Have you seen that?
No, I want to though. They're 5-6 episodes in, so might as well start now. You can binge the whole thing. That's how I usually do.
Yeah, I mean, people give it a lot of crap, but it's not. It's pretty cool. It's like Samuel Jackson get a little spotlight, main character kind of stuff. So far so good. I like it. I like it. I think people give it a lot of crap because it's just something different, and it's like you have to get used to a whole kind of new characters and such. You're muted. I lost you. Your audio. Did you just take your audio down? What happened? You might have just ended the show. You might have just ended the show. Yeah. So to Will's point, that was my point. And Troy is like, you know, conversations happen about like who's going to jail, who's going to stay, who has the family, who doesn't. So they all have to talk about who's older, like who's gonna die more. Like if you're already like 60, it's like, well, Troy, you're gonna die anyway soon. So why don't you just go to jail for life now and let us just live our life? Or hey, you don't have any kids, why don't you just go to jail for everybody? That's interesting. But Troy, what did you do with your sound, dude? It's no, it's what did you do? You had your. All right, well, we might just have to end the show here. It was good. I appreciate it, Troy. I'll let you go, dude. I'm just gonna play some music so it's not so quiet. But we gotta get better. We gotta get more consistent. We gotta get tighter. I gotta get my shit ready so it doesn't take me an hour to set up. Because this is the year, man. This is the year we do a full season. We can't stop. We won't stop. Got to do it. We're going to do a live taping at the draft. I've already been planning this. So I'm going to keep working on it. But yeah. William, thank you for stopping in tonight. It was very nice. It's nice to have you here. And yeah, man. I love you guys. Bye-bye. Peace.
She was taught to marry rich and don't look back, and never sign a